Hello world of YouTube and welcome to the last of the year 2012 lists that I made for you late. Sorry. But before I get into the list, because I do want to get this hurriedly done so I can talk more about these albums, I do have one honorable mention. Why can't I think of the word? And that is Dead Side of Living by the Cancer Bats. I like the Cancer Bats. They're a Canadian hardcore sludgy group, and I like this album. It's a great follow-up to their last record, Bear Smear, Scraps and Bones, and it does a good job of even making their sludgy sound a bit cleaner sounding. It still sounds really thick and layered, and I love the way that they kind of redid the vocals a bit, and I think it's a good record from a great Canadian band. Go check it out. It's good. Anyway, and number 10 is Long Live Heavy Metal by 3 Inches of Blood. Another Canadian band. Who would have guessed? Anyway, these guys are a power metal outlet, and this record is really good at changing up the dynamics of the sound. It's not always as fast and power metal, thrashy tinged. It does a good job of breaking that up with some acoustic styles and all that stuff, and the vocals do have a bit of an acquired taste, I'll admit, but I think that they're good, and I do like the screams whenever they're thrown in there as well. But this is a really good record. It did get a bit stale with me upon multiple listens, but I do still love the fact that the dynamics of the band are there. The bass, the drums, and the guitars are all very well predominantly shown. And it's a really good record. It's not, the worst thing I heard this year. It's pretty damn fantastic. Plus, the Follow Me Man's Order was really cool. Yeah, 3 Inches of Blood. Go check them out. They're great. And at number 10 is the Flaming Lips album, Flaming Lips and Hetty Fwens. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I reviewed this album. I liked it. It wasn't my favorite thing this year, but I do still enjoy it. I'll agree with some of the comments that I saw. The ending could have been changed a bit, but with what it is, it's not terrible. It is kind of an anticlimactic ending, but that aside, it's still a really good record. It has some really solid tracks. The features still are good to me. The features aren't stale. They still surprise me a bit, even upon listening to it now. It surprises me that some of these features are as good as they are. Mostly talking about Kesha. But anyway, I love it. I love the noisy aspect of it. I love the spacey aspect. It's a good album. And at number 9 is Resolution by Lamb of God. Metal and me this year weren't the best friends. I didn't check out all that much metal this year, and when I did, I was mostly disappointed. But some of them weren't bad. In this instance, Resolution was a really solid Lamb of God album. It wasn't, the worst follow-up they've had. It was kind of on par with Wrath in terms of a good follow-up. And it's more just Lamb of God being Lamb of God. And I still enjoy it anytime I do decide to throw it on to this day. And it's not my favorite thing they've done, but it's not the worst. It's good. It's good. It's good. And at number 8 is Blunderbuss by Jack White. I kind of praised this thing a lot when it came out, and the more I listened to it, the more I still enjoyed it, but the more I also kind of found myself getting bored with some of the tracks. But I do still love the fact that there's a good, diverse set of styles on here, from the swing to the bluesy to the garage rock that you're used to with Jack White. There's some autopilot on here that I feel, but the new stuff is still really good to me, and I do hope Jack White still continues to explore this sound. And I don't know, I thoroughly enjoyed this thing, and I still do thoroughly enjoy this thing the more I listen to it. It's just kind of starting to get a bit stale on me, which shouldn't happen after just a year. And at number 7 is The Industrialist by Fear Factory. Probably my favorite metal album that I heard this year. It's Fear Factory being Fear Factory. It has some really good, thick, thrashy sounds with some interesting grooves thrown in there, and some of that industrial tinge stuff that they do very well. It has some very ethereal sounding stuff on the end of some songs near the tail end of the album, and it has this kind of religious overtone to it that you don't really get from Fear Factory all that often. So it's a nice, fresh change lyrically of a style that they've done before, and I still really enjoy it. I love Fear Factory. I love their sound. I love what they do. They're very hard-hitting and aggressive, and it's great. I like it a lot. Yeah. Industrialist, great album. And at number 6 is Fez by Disasterpiece, the score to the game Fez. Yeah, it's on here. I put a score on here. Is that legal? I don't know. But do I need to sing my praise of this thing anymore? It's a great album. It's very ambient, very chiptune-y, very minimalistic, very good. I love the game. I love the soundtrack. It's good. Go get it. I don't need to sing my praises anymore, because I've already done so many times. And at number 5 is Magnificent from Driftwest Pony Club. And I don't remember what spot Buckminster was on last year's list, but this album is actually better. I like this album more the more I listen to it than Buckminster. What I like about this album that's better than Buckminster is that they do change up the stylings on the album a bit. They have a throwback to the cholera sound, and they have this newer element brought in with the Your Minton track. And I like this album more because I feel it takes more risks. It pushes their sound forward more than Buckminster did. Don't get me wrong, I still love Buckminster. It's a great album, but the more I listen to Magnificent, the more I like the changes that they made to their sound with it, and some of the throwbacks that they brought in sonically as well. Plus, it's a great album. It's Surface Pony Club. I love this band. I think they're freaking awesome. And you might notice the camera angle changed because my camera died, and that's actually much later. I've already eaten dinner and all that stuff. But anyway, yeah, Magnificent, number 5 on the albums list. At number 4 is Cancer for Cure by LP. Now, I stated this when I first reviewed this album when it came out. I'm new to LP. I got an LP this year back in April, and goddamn, I love this record, Cancer for Cure. Even upon just going back and listening to it, there's still a small chunk that I'm not that big on. It's like The Jig Is Up, True Story, and like those 2 tracks, and I think there's a third one that I'm not that big on, but the rest of the album is fan-friggin-tastic. LP's production is spectacular. The features scattered on this thing are placed well. The hooks on this thing are really well crafted whenever they are there on the record. The lyricism is great. It's both deep and thought-filled, yet funny at the same time. It's great. I love Cancer for Cure. It's not my favorite LP release out of the ones I've listened to, the 2 out of the 3, 4, whatever, but I do like this album. It's really good. It's really good. LP put out a good record on his hands, and I appreciate it. Can't wait for more. And at number 3 is Good Kid, Maad City by Kendrick Lamar. I praise the hell out of this album. Can praise it some more. It's essentially, to kind of sum up my praise, it's an old school hip hop West Coast record in 2012. It both reflects upon its influences while expanding those sounds and crafting something fresh. It's a great record from a production standpoint, from a lyrical standpoint, or even just a broad conceptual standpoint. I love this record, start to finish, front to back. Great record, love it. Good Kid, Maad City. If I can get it, it's good. Yeah. Do I need to say more? It's great. It's a great record. And at number 2, The Money Store by Death Grips. Of course, this was gonna be on my list. Hacker was on my songs list. This is. You knew this was gonna be on here. It was inevitable. It was inevitable that I was gonna put this album on there. And I've heard so many people praise this album. Do you really need me to do that? The beats are fantastically done. They're very interesting to listen to sonically. The lyricism is deep and dark and cryptic and crazy and blah. The delivery is just fantastically done. This album is great. It's fantastic. It's game changing. It's a new type of thing. It's not even a new type of thing. They just do it so well. It's like it's a great album. Money Store. It's good. Do I need to say anything else? It's good. And that's my number 2. And when it came to my number 1, the thing is, like, you would think with how much praise I'm giving to Good Kid, Maad City, and The Money Store that they would be 2 and 1, because I love those albums. They're fucking fantastic. They're damn near perfect in my opinion. They're really good records. I can always go back to them and find stuff that I like. And they're, universally praised. They're albums that have received a lot of positive reception from various critics. But with my number 1 album, I think the reason why I put this record at number 1 is because it's an album I kind of got on a whim. I like this band, but I never closely followed them. I do enjoy their first 2 records, and I think that they're great. They're great albums. I wouldn't say that they're the best records out there, but I'd put them up there. They're really good albums to me. But when I got this album and I kept listening to it, I kept finding myself returning to it over and over and over and over, listening to it front to back every time. And even now, today, I was listening to it. I can't get enough of this record, and I can't completely explain why. But my number one of the year is Neck of the Woods by Silversun Pickups. I know it's not as sonically different or genre-pushing as The Money Store, but I love this album. I really, genuinely love this record. I mean, like I said, I keep coming back to it. I keep listening to it. I keep enjoying every second of the record. And I've seen reviews of this album. No one really praises this album. They're like, it's alright, Silversun Pickups. But I, for some reason, love this goddamn record. I can't explain it. I cannot completely enunciate why I friggin' love this record front to back every time I listen to it. It may be the combination of just the way I love the way the guitars and the drums play off each other with the small variations of the vibes that are going on, and just the damn catchiness of this friggin' record on top of all that. I love this record. I still return to this record. It still does something to my brain that I just really like. And I cannot completely explain it. I know this is weird to, like, everyone that knows, like, that follows music, for me to put this in it's one that's not been, it's kind of just flown in the right. I love this record. I just, plain and simple, start to finish, love this record. Neck of the Woods, Silversun Pickups. It's my favorite album of 2012. I can't get enough of it. I really can't. And I know that's gonna be a thing. Like, if anyone watches this, like, what the fuck? It's a thing, but I can't help it. I love the record. And that's pretty much my list. That's my list of albums of the year for 2012. And hopefully, I know you may not agree with my list, but hopefully you respect and understand that it's my list, it's my opinions, what I think. Hopefully you at least enjoyed this video, nonetheless. I'm going to get out of here and edit all of this stuff. I have been Viralrak. You guys have good days, lives, and situations, and I'll see you another day.